Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Today we're going to be in the shop working with our motor planer, but I thought I'd give you one last good look at the snow before it leaves here. It's going to warm up today in the mid 40s, so it'll probably be gone. If you got any snow, I hope you've enjoyed it. So let's take a quick ride down to the shop, see what we got left. Okay guys, as you can see, it's going away quickly. It's one thing about snow here in western North Carolina, the part we live in. You better get out and enjoy it, because normally next day or two it's warming up and we're transitioning from beautiful white frozen ground to back to red mud. And you can see our yard, the mud's already starting to creep back in, but there's Leroy Vader out checking on the they're out checking on the squirrels this morning to make sure they're not misbehaving. But like I say guys, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the look at the little bit of snow that we had. I enjoy snow. We kind of complain about it, but I do enjoy it. I'm just thankful it don't hang around forever. You people up north that get snow in November and you're still looking at it in April, whew, I feel for you. But let's get in here. I'm gonna get the heat turned on. We need to get some work done. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that little snow tour. We're back in our motor planer room. This morning, what we have here is some rough cut 2.5 by 7.5, 7.75 inch white oak. We took this order back in mid-September. It takes this long to get this kind of stuff out. Got it sawed, it had to wait its turn to go through the kiln. It has been kiln dried, and now we're going to run it through our motor planer and basically just S4S it to a 2 by 7. That's what the customer wants. It's for a trailer decking. They wanted some top grade stuff, so Matthew and I cut some extra. So if we had any defects, bad cracking, bad splitting, we hopefully have enough boards to make it good. So I've got to get our Weining motor set back up to run S4S. We'll run this in 2 passes, and I intended that from the beginning. We'll run it once at like 1.25 inches, maybe a little thinner, 1.25 inches by 7.25 inches. Get it all squared up, trued up, and then we'll run it again, and I'll pick the face side, run it down, and we'll narrow it up to 7 wide by 2 tall. And yeah, if I'd have cut it a little thinner, we could have run it in 1 pass, but it's a premium product, and I'm gonna give them a premium product in return. So run it twice to ensure that it is laser straight and flat, and appropriate thickness and the appropriate width is not a big issue. You got to build that into your price. I'm not saying that you just can't add. You can't add for that. You do have to add for that. That's why I like running this ceiling, tongue and groove, V-groove white pine. It's a softer wood. You don't have to add extra labor to it. You just cut it. I cut mine 1 1/16 inches, That gives me plenty of material to take off the top and the bottom and the left and right and produce a good high quality product. But there's a difference between that white pine and this white oak. And there's a huge difference in the cost of it as well. So just factor that in when, I get people all the time asking me about pricing. We don't necessarily discuss pricing because it varies so much across the country, but I do not mind discussing at all how you price. And you have to run a business. Every time you handle something, every time you include a process, you got to add for that. Because, this wood here, we bought it, we sawed it, we air dried it, and then we kiln dried it. And then we moved it over here, and I'm gonna handle it 2 more times. And the last part of the process, I'm not gonna do. The customer's gonna have to come pick it up. But every step of the process, I'm adding time and labor into it. So you have to build all that in. And trust me, you don't know it all from the beginning. I didn't either. I'm still learning every day. But you'll make some mistakes of not adding in processes that you should have. And it's going to cost you a little bit in time and labor, but just eat it, learn, make mental notes of how to do it better from then on. Like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I've learned some hard lessons. Had to eat some crow, had to do a lot of free work from not pricing things properly, had to do some things that really didn't make any money on, but that's part of doing business. You try not to make those mistakes but once and learn from them. When I talk to a new customer, I'm trying to go through all these things in my head, make sure to remind them of, if I hit metal, what it's going to cost them. Try to make sure they understand that they brought a subpar log. They're not going to get beautiful boards. I did that the other day. Had a couple bring in some white oak. We're going to cut, dry, and tongue and groove, and hardwood floors going back in their house. And I took her over here, him and her both, to my display wall and explained to them what they were going to get back. I said, this beautiful clear board here, that's not what you're going to get. You're going to get this knotty board because the trees you brought had a lot of knots. So just trying to get out in front of things, because some people's expectations versus reality can be a little out of touch, and it's incumbent on you and me to try to explain that to them, that you brought me a tree this big, you're not going to take home 1 by 12s. Just to simplify it real bluntly there, but it's just part of the things you learn to quell their expectations, or to make sure their expectations are in conjunction with what they're actually doing. Now, if they're buying something from me, then it's a little different, because I can show them, this is what we got, or this is what we're going to produce, this is how it's going to look. But when they're looking at a log, they can't look at that log with the bark on it and tell you, ooh, that's going to be some pretty stuff. Most people. But you and I, as sawyers, should be able to look at that log and see all the little knots and defects here, there, and there, and be able to tell them, so look, them boards are going to look more like this than this. Are you happy with that? If you are, we're good. We're going to move forward. And they were tickled to death to have all those knots and defects and character flaws and stuff. I said, well, a lot of it you can use, but if it's too bad, you may just have to cut it out. And, trying to save myself and themselves some aggravation later in the future. Their expectations of what they're going to get should be on par with what they're going to get. Said all that to try to help you guys. It's a business. If you go from mobile milling into sawmilling, it's a business. And your reputation is everything, and how you do, how you handle yourself. Bad things are going to happen. Sometimes you just got to suck it up and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'll fix it. So, heat's come on. It's kind of cool this morning. Enough talking. I'm going to get over here. Probably, I don't know how much we'll talk about setting it up. This video is more about the wood than the motor. But we've got some of the heads off. I need to get this tool back up to S4S, get everything lined up. May just put you on time lapse so you can see it. So let's get to work. Okay guys, sorry about the time lapse. Like I say, this video is about running wood more than setting up the machine. Let's go over real quick what I had to do. I had to put the top head cutter back on. Had to put the front hog head back on. Switched out the two side cutters from tongue and groove V-groove to S4S. Went ahead and reset my in-feed cutter depth as well as my side fence cutter depth. Turned the air on, raised the feed beam up to 2 1/4 inches. While I was working on these heads, I verified the radius was not going to hit anything, as well as I took my setup tool. This is a 4 by 7.5. It's a known number. So I set my depth out here. I didn't have to set it. I just double checked and verified that it was 7.5 inches, and it was. I turned it back into 7 1/4 inches because that's our first width cut is 7 1/4. And then I changed the height on the top outfeed cutter to 2 1/4. And that should be it. Should be ready to introduce the board and come out the other end at 7 1/4 by 2 1/4. If I hadn't missed nothing. It's early in the morning. But I'm gonna verify our stock and make sure maybe I don't need to back off this width measurement a little bit. I don't want to take more than 3/8 off both sides combined. Much more than that, and especially this 2-inch stuff, it gets real hard on it. I'd be better off to make 3 passes if I had to, instead of trying to force it through in one. So let me get that. We should be about ready to fire it up and run a test piece if we need to make any adjustments. I don't think so, because this is 1 pass of 2. The most critical pass would be the second one. This is just kind of a clear and straightening pass. Got a board, got a little bow in it. We'll try to get most of it out on this pass, and that'll leave us a good 1/4 inch for the final pass to true it up. And I can adjust that with this knob here. It moves this fence in and out. If you move it back, it's taking more off of this side cutter here. If you move it out, it'll take a little more off of this side cutter. That's why we say if the board is bowed, we try to run the bow facing me, and you basically introduce your board and it'll cut the front half. It may miss the middle, and then it'll cut the back half. You got to start somewhere to square it up. And that back fence is straight all the way through, so that's your best place to do it. So, enough talking. Let me do a little checking, and we'll get everything fired up. sorry about that, guys. Somewhere through that last time lapse, battery died on the GoPro. Whew, let me tell you, these are heavy. 2.5 by 7 3/4, 12 foot long, even kiln dried, is still heavy. I'm missing Matthew this morning. He had an appointment, but should be back shortly. I didn't worry too much about the exact dimensions when we run it through there. I just checked it with a tape measure. Now I'm gonna take and use my dial caliper and see exactly what width we have, and then I'll know exactly how to adjust inboard to get to an 8-inch or 7-inch board exactly. Same thing with our thickness. I know what I dialed in, but now we'll verify that we got what we dialed. And if I need to make just a slight adjustment, I can do that. So, goes without saying, guys, you gotta have some tools. Never had a need for a 12-inch dial caliper, but now I do, so. Yes, sir. I like it. Okay, the width is right around where it needs to be, so I'll take our outside adjuster, just so you know what I'm talking about, this one, and I'll screw it in till it reads 7 inches or 7.05. I might just leave a little width on it, and then I'm gonna check our thickness. Now, when you check the thickness on these, turn your board over and make sure it cleared on both sides, because you know, not every spot of that board is clear. So we're shooting for 2.25, and we're 2.39, 2.4, 2.5. Yeah. 2.5. I'm happy with that. It's going on a trailer deck, okay? And it's not machine steel. So if we're within, you know, a few thousandths, perfectly acceptable for what we're doing, okay? So I'm happy with that. If you could see during the time lapse, some of them boards I was turning around, some of them I wasn't. There's a reason for that. When the board comes out this end, especially the bowed ones, it was taking a lot of cut off the outboard side and just very little off the inboard, and sometimes it missed a little bit. So on those boards, I turned them around so that we're sitting here. The side that cleared real good is gonna go against the fence, and I'll take just very little, 1/16, 32nd off that. And then the balance, I'll take off the outside knife to finish truing it up. As well as if I had one that I run and I would run them face down, and if I wasn't happy with the face down side, maybe I needed to turn it over when it got over here, and maybe I needed to turn it around. So I was orienting these boards, so basically I come over here, pick them up, and run them right through the way they're sitting. I don't have to do any thinking about it. I was doing it while I was off bearing. So that's a little time savings. One board, it may not even got on camera, but one had such a horrible bow. It was like 1.5 inches over 12 feet. And I needed a couple 69-inch boards. So that worked out good. Had 155, yeah, it was a little long, 12-footer, like 12-10. So I just cut it in half, and that took that bow from 1.5 inches or worse down to a manageable number. And that's these here. They didn't clear on the inside, but there's enough meat left there that it will clear. So I can check with my caliper. Yeah, it's 7.2. Those 200 thousandths needs to come off of that, and this side's good to clear. So when I run it against the fence, I won't take much off of it. I'll save coming off the outside. So I hope that helps. I'm wringing wet with sweat. I'm gonna sit down for a few minutes, drink my coffee, maybe shed a tear, and get back to work, guys. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I finished my coffee and good news. Matthew's back. Anyway, we got the machine reset to 7 inches wide, 2 inches thick, and we're gonna run them through. When we did this order, I cut some extras. We got 5 or 6 boards extra. I did that because this order's been going since the middle of September, and we're in the middle of January, so 4 months. So I wanted to make sure we got to today. If we had one that malfunctioned, whatever, we'd have some replacement for it. So we're gonna run them all through, and we're gonna pick the best ones to fill his needs, and then the other ones we'll keep and do something else with. So let's get everything fired up. We're gonna run them through. We'll maybe try a couple different camera angles, let you see what's going on, but we gotta get them done. Okay guys, we got all that run. I hope you enjoyed that. Had little issues we worked through. A couple boards had a bad bow and they was giving us a fit. I had to back off the chip breaker a good bit to get them go through there. But we went through our list. We had multiple different lengths that we had to achieve, and we went through and picked out the best ones for the longest ones and then worked our way shorter. So this is it, it's done. Let me get you a little closer. Everybody likes to see the pretty grain in this white oak. They're not number ones by far. There's a lot of knots and different things, but it's trailer decking.
It's a shame it's going to be trailer decking.
Yeah, Matthew said it's a shame it's going to be trailer decking, but this is what they wanted. They wanted some high grade stuff, so we did it. Now, the reason we cut extra, people, because we had to go through our extra pile at the end and make some pieces to finish up what we needed. So don't cut yourself short on something like this. It can bite you in the hiney. I've already took a picture of this and put this on Facebook Marketplace. We'll move it out of here. We won't waste it. We keep it and use it if we had a use for it, but right now I can't imagine a use for 2x7 oak, but somebody wanting to build a table or something, you know, there's woodworkers all the time looking for stuff. And this has been 6% kiln dried, been sterilized at 145 degrees. It's been run through the molder planer. Yeah, like I say, I'll make somebody a good deal on Marketplace to get it out of here. That's going to do it today, guys. We appreciate you watching. I'm glad Matthew come back. I ain't hurting near as bad running it the second time. But big shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. We greatly appreciate it. Get a chance, check out Solomon's channel, Third Beer Fishing. As always, we appreciate Joe Maine at Wood Mizer. Guys, if you got any Wood Mizer needs, give him a call. If he can't help you, he's tied in with enough people, he can get you the right person to get you the help you need. But he is a blade expert. If you got any questions on blades, give him a holler. Also, Chuck Sunder from Shearton Park Farms. Chuck, I watched the video this morning in the snow. That was a good one, buddy. Get out there and work hard. That's what makes life go around. That's going to do it, guys. If you got any questions, about this or other things we do, just leave them in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer them. We appreciate every comment, every thumbs up. If you would, like, subscribe, and share our videos. That's going to do it. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.